All right, y'all. So now let's get into some good news because I was over that mess. Let's give a huge congratulations to my girl T.S. Madison, who won a victory over this whole DL Whisperer mess. And no shade, I think we could blame Tasha K for this mess because she was the one that was still having little conversations with him while he was in prison. Just trying to, because she needs content over there on her channel. So, his bond motion was denied. Now, apparently, during the bond hearing, the judge viewed a clip where Mr. Palmer said that no bail nor bond will keep him from getting to T.S. Madison. Now, that statement was enough for the judge to keep him behind bars. When he said that, you know what that reminded me of? Nothing but death can keep me from here. Remember that from The Color Purple? That's what it was giving. Who was that said that? Was it Nettie? But Nettie, because Mister had her put out because she wouldn't give him any. Anyway, so now they said that, but the gag is his delusional fans are pissed with T.S. Madison, who they claim is playing victim and dragging the whole situation in order to gain sympathy from the public. No shade, but after what recently happened to Riri, there's where there was some lunatic was seen recording herself making threats towards Rihanna online before driving to her house with an AK-47 and firing pow-pows into the home. In my opinion, Maddie, you did the right thing by going through the courts to have her clout chasing stalker locked up. Now, who y'all really need to be mad at is Trashy K, who revealed on social media that she was in communication with the DL Whisperer and was aligning herself with him as a way to get back at Maddie, who she has a beef with. Now, you would think that she would have learned her lesson by not asserting herself in situations that have nothing to do with her, hence why she had to put her home on the market to pay the money she owes to Cardi B. And recently the story came out that Nicki Minaj donated a little money to the situation. We don't know what it is, but I heard it was like $3,000. I'm like, girl, that's pocket change. You dug in the bottom of your purse to give her that. So, if that is true, I'm like, that's a bunch of nothing because now she went online bragging about the fact that, oh yeah, she gave me a little money, whatever the case is. I'm like, okay. The money's still going to Cardi. I don't think she cares how she gets paid. She want her money. So, but like I said, at the end of the day, with Trashy K, that ego of hers is a powerful thing, and she can't even seem to control it. So the sad part in all this is that someone who lacks talent like a DL Whisperer has to resort to hating on the success of someone like a T.S. Madison in order to get clout, basing your entire persona on being a greasy-lipped sissy, hating on trans women in order to get in favor with the insecure Black women who hate gay men and in their mind are in competition with trans women over men they wouldn't have a rat's chance in hell of getting even securing a date with, let alone a quick hit and run. Now, the DL Whisperer thought that he could get on social media and create beefs with other content creators as a way to build his brand quickly, not realizing that the shtick gets old fairly quickly. And by aligning yourself with someone like a Trashy K, was only going to make things worse, especially since she's seen as a joke in the podcasting space. Now, if Miss Thing had some formidable talent, he would have to resort to fighting with other content creators in order to gain attention, because when the shit hits the fan, those same people you thought loved you will move on to the next big thing on the come up. Now, speaking of Maddie, the media personality did take to social media, as in her Facebook page, to celebrate her victory and said the following: I cried a little yesterday. No tears of sadness or tears of joy. It was tears for what I had and have to do. It's crazy when you have to battle an enemy that looks like you and in the same community as you. My tears weren't for me. It's because I know what I must do, because ain't nan motherfucker gonna threaten my life and my loved one's life and still stand. No, the answer is no. Hashtag bond denied round 4. So I'm not mad at her, because you got to be out here. You got to protect your family. You got to protect yourself, and you got to protect your peace. And you can't just be letting random people out here, crazy people, because you don't know what's wrong with this boy. Like, you literally is out here trying to pick fights with content creators. I heard Armand Wiggins said at one point that DL Whisper was trying to come after him, but when it didn't work, now I'm gonna go after I'm gonna go after T.S. Madison because she's one of the most popular Black trans women in the industry right now. Like, with her Fag Talk show. She's traveling around the United States doing these lives with her and Craig. She's also running around doing all these different deals and bookings. We miss you over there on Drag Race. We need more of you on there. Um, you have so many bookings and so many things going on. And then here you got this child with no formidable talent to speak of who feels, oh, the only way I can get famous is clout chasing, throwing people in the butt. When I first heard about this boy, I was like, I shook my damn head. I'm like, the things that some of you tired ass no talents will do to try to jump on here to try to be famous, why can't you just build something and gain your fandom that way? That's what I did. I started from the ground up with nothing, just started coming in here. You know what? I'm gonna do my celebrity news and gossip. I'm gonna give my opinion. And then if people like what you say and all this other stuff, you build your foundation little by little, brick by brick. I'm not coming up on here throwing shade, being negative, talking shit about other content creators. Because there's room for all of us. Just like Mims, who is a content creator, comes up in here and make it make sense, pops up in here every now and again in the comments, and I say, hey, and he leaves a little something, something, and we move on. We got Kempire out here doing his own thing. We got Funky Daniva out here doing his own thing. We got Omar Wiggins out here doing his own thing. There's so much room for so many of us out here. That Perez Hilton over there doing his own thing, even though he said he almost died. He was in the hospital for 20 days. So there's a bunch of us out here. There's room for us. There's enough for us out here doing our own thing without us having to step on over each other and hate on other content creators. I just don't see the point in that. And you have to realize that if you're going to come in hot and negative, you have to realize you have to keep that momentum going all the time. You got to keep it up. And it's going to get old fairly quickly. So how are you going to keep that momentum up? Because then what? Now you got to go to kick in her door and live stream you literally murdering her entire family. Like, is that the level? Is that the peak? Is that where we stop? Because this celebrity obsession, or this obsession with fame and clout and clicks and likes and all this other stuff. I'm so glad I wasn't born in the era of the internet. That it's like at any point, like y'all know, I come on, I do the shows when I can. And when I'm busy, I walk away. And then when I come back, that's when I got to give y'all like 5-hour shows because it's a lot to catch up on. But you can't let this internet thing or these people in the matrix control and try to keep you up with the bullshit. That's why you see people like the DL Whisperer is where he is with his, in jail. And why you see people like Trashy K's career is where it is, because y'all come out here and you do these things with these celebrities, and then you wonder why your career is in the shitter. So shout out to you, Maddie. I'm glad you did the right thing. And if people is mad, oh well, stay mad. And DL Whisperer, you can rot in jail, and that's all I got to say on that. So, but sure enough, hopefully this will be a lesson learned for a lot of you future content creators that want to come up in here and work in this space. Find a niche, find a thing that you're good at, and work on that. Build that situation. You coming in trying to pick fights with other content creators or doing all kinds of crazy stunts and shows thinking that's going to get you famous. Yeah, it'll get you there quickly, but your career will die off as fast as it started because you can't keep that thing up. You can keep it going, but it's not going. It's going to be hard to maintain that. So, and that drug called fame, because that's worse than crack. I mean, I wouldn't know. I never had crack, but I can. But if I was to imagine what it'd be like to do crack, I can imagine that fame, that drug, is a lot more potent, a lot more powerful than your favorite street pharmaceutical. So I definitely want to hear from y'all regarding the situation. Let me know your overall thoughts on the DL Whisperer and TS Madison in the comments down below.